Hello everyone, welcome to the Unacademy. Let's crack GATE ESE with India's largest online learning platform. Get the plus subscription now and start your preparation with unlimited live and the recorded video lectures by India's top educator. Myself, Ajay Das, I am MTech in Computer Science. I have a 8 plus year of teaching experience, and in my career, I have trained almost 20,000 plus engineering students for the GATE, and I have qualified the GATE exam 5 times. Along with that, I have also qualified the Chhattisgarh State Electricity Board exam in 2010 with AIR 8, and I have worked as a freelancer in many reputed institutes of India. Download the Unacademy learning app and start your preparation sitting anywhere, anytime. So, what you will get? This is the major question that always arises in the mind of every aspirant. So the first thing, you are going to have a daily life classes. The second thing is the structure courses. The meaning of the structure courses means your every syllabus has been pre-planned and you will be pre-intimated, and for a single subject you can have a multiple educator. If you are not able to grasp any one of the concept by one educator, you can switch to the another and you can start learning. And the third advantage is the live test and quizzes. This is the most necessary things for the self evaluation. This is the most necessary thing for the self evaluation. Are you getting my point? So all of you, am I audible? Am I audible to all of you? Okay, let me check. Please respond me whether am I audible or not. Okay, fine, fine. All of you, am I audible? Okay, fine. The third one is the live test and quizzes. So ये जानना बहुत ही जरूरी होता है कि हम लोग कितने पानी में हैं और हमारा पूरे इंडिया लेवल पे परफॉर्मेंस क्या हो रहा है. एंड फॉर दैट रीजन the Unacademy basically plan the live test and quizzes, and the last one is the unlimited access. You can access the lectures again and again until you get the entire concept, and of course learned by the India's top educator. So I have just mentioned few of the educators from the electrical, electronics and the civil background, and here from the mechanical and electrical. To get more information about the educator, what you can do, you can download the Unacademy learning app and you can check each and every educator and their profile and their story, what kind of result they have produced in their career, and accordingly you can get the subscription. But if you want to go for the GATE and ESE, there are various branches mentioned over here. So according to your branch, or you can suggest any of your friends who belongs to the other branches like mechanical, production, CS, electronics, chemical, and like civil engineering. So you can suggest anyone else, or you can opt or get the subscription for the computer science and IT. But if you want to get the subscription, so my dear friends, if you want to get the subscription, so here the subscription model is already described. This is the 1 month, 3 months, similarly 6 month and 12 months. So if you are looking for the 6 month subscription, your final fees will become 20,000. So I will advise, rather than going for the 6 month, you must go for the 12-month subscription, because there is a difference of only 5,000. So logically, if you will think, by the amount 5,000, you are getting a subscription of 12 months. Sorry, 6 month. Are you getting my point? So again, this is not a fees what it is showing over here. So once you will apply my code, that is the IFA, immediately you will get the 10% discount. How much? Immediately you will get the 10% discount and your applicable fees will become 22,500. So please note it down, my dear friend. This is the most nominal fees which no any institutes, either it is the offline or the online, can train you in India by India's top educators. So this is the most advantageous things the Unacademy is giving to you. So if you are in a second year or the third year, and if you are preparing for GATE 2022, my dear friends, please try to listen very carefully. If you are preparing for the GATE 2022, then at least you will require 1.5 year or the 2 year for the preparation. So in that situation, rather than going Rather than going for the 12-month subscription, I will advise must go for the 24-month subscription, and your final applicable fees will become 20,000. So what is the difference? So with the amount 5,000, you are getting a 1 year of subscription. Just think it very logically. So for the 12 month it is a 25,000. So accordingly for the 24 month it should be a 50,000. No, by the 5,000, that is the 25 plus 5, you are getting a 24 month of subscription. Suppose if you have cracked very well in GATE 2022, what you can do, you can pass your credential to your juniors as a gift. Are you getting my point? So again, this is not a fees what it is showing over here. So once you will apply my code, that is the IFA, immediately you will get minimum 10% discount, and your final applicable fees will become 27,000. My dear friends, I would like to add on something over here, that this particular promo code which is written over here, this is not only applicable for the GATE and ESE. If some of your friends or the known person or relative are preparing for like CAT, GRE, UPSC, banking, CGL, or any other competitive exam like the IIT, JEE and NEET, all of them can use this particular code which is written over here, that is the IFA, and all of them will get the minimum 10% discount. So never think that this code is only applicable for the GATE and ESE. So accordingly you can get the subscription, you can advise the other people to get the subscriptions, and now it's time for start the subject. So my dear friends, already I have told you that this is the grammar part 3 and this is the series of grammar. In the beginning of my class, I have told you the weightage of the chapter grammar in your GATE point of view. Under the subject TOC, it almost covered 2 to 3 questions every year in your GATE exam. So accordingly, you have to look upon this particular chapter, and that's why I have created a series of like grammar, so that you will be fully confident once you will attend each and every lecture of mine. Starting from the beginning, I am telling you guys, you are not going to make a single mistake while solving any kind of numerical related with the grammar in your GATE exam. So if you want to watch, then watch from the beginning. This is my personal advice. So as I told you, this is the theory of computation grammar part 3. So what portion we have covered till now? Before moving to the problem section, let me tell you what portion we have covered till now. The first thing is regular grammar, regular grammar, and how to convert DFA into a regular grammar, and if regular grammar is giving, then how to construct the DFA. Already we have learned these particular things inside the regular grammar. Okay, and next thing we have learned language generated by regular, how to find out the language generated by the regular grammar. The second thing we have learned the context free context free grammar, that is also called CFG. That is also called CFG. In the short form we will say CFG, that is the context free grammar. But whenever I am talking about the grammar, this is the second thing already we have learned in the second lecture. But whenever we are talking about the grammar will be of two different forms. The grammar will be of two different forms. One could be a ambiguous grammar, ambiguous, and the second one will be a unambiguous. So today we will discuss about what is the ambiguous grammar and what is the unambiguous grammar, and all related wonderful numerical that could be asked. That is the most expected question that could be asked in your GATE exam. So my dear friends, I hope you know about what is the ambiguous grammar and what is the unambiguous grammar. So, so suppose if a grammar is given in this form, S2 AB A2 A AB slash epsilon and B2 CB slash C. I hope you know about the language generated by of this grammar will be what? This will become A to the power n, B to the power n and C to the power m, where n is greater than equal to 0 and m is greater than equal to 1. So of course this will be the language generated by this particular grammar. Now what I am trying to say over here, generate string double A, double B and triple C using above grammar. Using above. So what is the fundamental approach of generating this string by using the above grammar? So we basically generate string with the help of parse tree. We generally generate the string with the help of parse tree. See over here how. From the S we can derive A and B, and from the A we can derive B, and again from the A we can derive B. We have already generated two number of A and two number of B. So just reduce the A by epsilon. Okay, now from the B we can derive CB, again CB, and this B will be reduced by the C. So what kind of string this particular parse tree is generating? Just traverse left to right. Just traverse left to right. What you will get? You will get the string W is equal to double A epsilon double B and triple C. So this is equivalent to the double A double B and triple C. Means this particular string can be generated by this above grammar using this particular parse tree. So parse tree is nothing but a tree which is created with the help of grammar. Are you getting my point? So what is the definition of ambiguous grammar? What is the definition of ambiguous grammar? Please try to understand. See, if a grammar is generating more than one parse tree for a single string or for any one of the string, it is called the ambiguous. If grammar contain more than one parse tree, for generating any string, then it is called ambiguous. Got it, everyone? So for if any one of the string, if the grammar is containing the more than one parse tree or grammar is creating more than one parse tree, then it is called the ambiguous. So my dear friends, what is the purpose of learning the ambiguous and the unambiguous grammar? See over here. The ambiguous grammar basically not useful for any compiler design. It is not useful for compiler design. And that's why what is our target? Our target is to convert the ambiguous grammar into unambiguous form, okay, we need to convert the ambiguous grammar into unambiguous form. But my question is, why it is not useful for the compiler design? Again there is a question mark. Why I am saying or why I am claiming this is not useful for the compiler design? Let's try to identify this. Why ambiguous grammar is not useful for compiler design. For compiler design. Again, this is the question mark. So please try to understand. Please try to understand why it is not useful for the compiler design. I am considering a simple grammar. Take example. Because with the help of example, only you will be able to realize. Suppose E is deriving E plus E, or it could derive E into E, and then we are assuming it is deriving ID. Now, the question is generate string id plus id into id, or you can say 2 plus 3 into 5. Got it? 2 plus 3 into 5. So in place of these all id, we have considered the 2 plus 3 into 5. So how to generate this particular string? So of course, with the help of parse tree, we will generate all these strings. So let's see over here how we can generate. So from this is the start symbol of the grammar. From the E, we can take E plus E. Yes or no? From the E, we can take E plus E, and then from this E, we can take E into E, and from all the E, we can generate the ID. So ultimately, whenever you will count all the leaf nodes, suppose this is the value 2, this is the value 3, and this is the value 5. So of course, it is generating the string 2 plus 3 into 5. Again, since the grammar is ambiguous, this grammar is ambiguous. I hope you are able to understand. This grammar is ambiguous. Why this is ambiguous? Because for the same string, we can develop more than one parse tree. See, what is the another parse tree over here? E2, E into E, and then E2, E plus E, and then all E2 ID, all E2. So from this ID we can generate 2, from this ID we can generate 3, and from this ID we can generate 5. So ultimately, what string is generating? Again, we are generating the 2 plus 3 into 5. Okay, so there exist two different parse tree for generating the same string, id plus id into id. Now let's see what these parse tree is deriving the result. Of course, the compiler is generally doing the compilation process, and after the compilation, whenever we will run the program, it will give you the output. But what output will be generated, ultimately it depends upon your compiler. So just look upon here. So looking this particular parse tree, what we are realizing, these value 3 into 5 will be stored over here. So suppose this is the T1. T1 is equal to what? 3 into 5. And here what value will be calculated? This one plus this one. So here we will calculate T2 is equal to 2 plus T1, and T2 will be the final result. So what result we are getting from here? We are getting the result 17. Got it? Similarly, if you will do the same thing over here, we are calculating 2 plus 3, and here what we are calculating? We are calculating 2 is equal to this result, that is nothing but what? T1, that is nothing but T1 into 5. So ultimately, in this part, what result we are getting? We are getting the result 25 over here. So from the first parse tree, we are getting the result 17, and from the second parse tree, we are getting the result 25. Out of which mathematically, which one is the correct result? This one is the correct result, yes or no? And this one is the incorrect result. So if for a single string we are developing more than one parse tree, sometime one parse tree will give you the right answer and sometimes the another parse tree will give you the wrong answer. So do we want such kind of compiler which will give us different result in different compilation? No, because suppose if the compiler is developing this kind of parse tree after the compilation, then definitely your computer will give you the result 17, which is of course correct. But if by mistake the compiler will develop this particular parse tree for the same string, since the grammar is ambiguous, so in that situation what will happen? The result or the output that our computer will show, that will be a 25, which is absolutely incorrect. So this result is incorrect and this particular result is correct. Why I am saying this one is incorrect? Because whenever you will solve this mathematical expression, then it will always give you the result 17. It will always give you the result 17. This is the basic of mathematics. This is the basic of mathematics. And this is the reason we basically don't want ambiguous grammar. Now, my dear friends, what is my question? Please try to understand. What is my question? Please try to solve it out. Because this is a very interesting question. Suppose, okay, you can say this is the challenging problem. This is the challenging problem which I am giving you the open challenge. Very few of the student, almost 1% student out of 100 would be able to solve. And in some time, almost 100% students are not able to solve. But we will try to find out the logic. We will try to find out the logic and the actual approach and concept what this question is actually talking about. See over here. Suppose I am giving you a grammar E2, E plus E and slash ID. And I'm asking you the question, find possible number of parse tree for the following string, for the following strings. Okay, the first string I am considering over here ID plus ID plus ID. This is a very simple problem. But whenever I will increase the counting of ID, it will become difficult. ID plus ID and again plus ID. There are 4 ID. Again increase the counting of ID. This is the ID plus ID plus ID plus ID plus. Again increase the counting of ID. This is the ID plus ID plus ID plus ID plus ID plus. So ultimately here the number of IDs are 3, here the number of IDs are 4, here the number of IDs are 5, and here the number of IDs are 6. So you have to find out the possible number of parse tree for each of the string. So my dear friends, I hope already you know about this. For the first string, there are 2 possible parse tree. How? Just see over here. E2, E plus E. Since we are deriving 2E from a single E, either we can reduce this or we can reduce this. We have 2 possibilities. Either we can reduce this E plus E and all E to ID. All E to ID. It will generate a triple ID, or what we can do, we can reduce the right non-terminal. We can reduce the right non-terminal means it will be a ID and it will be a again E plus E and all the E will be reduced by the ID. means there are only two possible pass tree. This is the first possible pass tree and this is the second possible pass tree for the string. This means for this there are two number of pass tree. There are two number of pass tree. Similarly, you have to think about the 4id. 4id. So you have a two different approach. Either you draw the pass tree manually or apply some logic. या तो आप पास ट्री को मैन्युअली ड्रॉ करो या तो अपने लॉजिक को अप्लाई करो. गॉट इट. बिकॉज जैसे जैसे आईडी के काउंटिंग बढ़ेंगे पॉसिबल नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री के काउंटिंग भी एक्सपोनेंशियली से भी ज्यादा ग्रोथ करता जाएगा. सो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू ड्रॉ ऑल द पास ट्री इफ द काउंटिंग ऑफ आईडी इज लिटिल बिट मोर. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो व्हाट इज द लॉजिक ओवर हियर? ऑफ कोर्स इस पर्टिकुलर 4 नंबर ऑफ आईडी को अगर आपको जनरेट करना है तो आप क्या करोगे? देखिए लॉजिक कैसे फाइंड आउट होता है. E2 E प्लस E, ठीक है ना? तो चलिए या तो हम लोग 3 आईडी को यहां से जनरेट कर दें. अगर आप 3 आईडी को यहां से जनरेट कर रहे हो तो यहां से आपको एक सिंगल आईडी जनरेट करना पड़ेगा एंड सम ऑफ दिस विल बिकम 4. ऑफ कोर्स वी नीड टू जनरेट द 4 नंबर ऑफ आईडी. So from the left hand side, if we are generating the 3 number of ID, then from the right hand side we have to generate the 1 number of ID. Similarly, what we can do? We can generate 1 number of ID from the left hand side and 3 number of ID from the right hand side. This is the second possibility. And again, we can generate 2 number of ID from the left hand side and again 2 number of ID from the राइट हैंड साइड. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, दो आईडी को जनरेट करने की कितने पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकते हैं? तो देखिए E2 E प्लस E और दोनों ही E को आप आईडी से रिड्यूस कर दो तो यहां से जनरेट हो जाएगा आईडी प्लस आईडी. तो डबल आईडी को जनरेट करने के लिए एक से ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं हो सकता है क्योंकि अगर आपको 2 काउंटिंग ऑफ आईडी जनरेट करना है तो इट विल हैव ओनली वन पास ट्री. इट विल हैव ओनली वन पास ट्री. सो इस सिचुएशन में ऑफ कोर्स 3 नंबर ऑफ आईडी को जनरेट करने के लिए टोटल नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री कितने हैं भाई? 2 हैं. ऑलरेडी हम लोगों ने यहां पर देखा है, ठीक है ना? और एक नंबर ऑफ आईडी को जनरेट करने के लिए सिंगल आईडी अगर आपको जनरेट करना है तो आप कैसे जनरेट करोगे? यू कैन डिराइव द E2 आईडी. तो यहां पर सिर्फ एक ही पॉसिबिलिटी है. सो अल्टीमेटली टोटल नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी कितने होंगे? 2 into 1. सिमिलरली सिंगल आईडी को जनरेट करने की पॉसिबिलिटी 1 है, ट्रिपल आईडी को जनरेट करने की पॉसिबिलिटी 2 है. सो अल्टीमेटली यहां पर कितना हो जाएगा? 1 into 2. 2 आईडी को जनरेट करने का पॉसिबिलिटी 1 और 2 आईडी को यहां पर भी 1. तो अगेन 1 into 1. So this sum will become 5. So the total number of possibility will be 5. Similarly, you need to think about the 5 number of ID. See over here. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? E2 E प्लस. ऑफ कोर्स इस तरह का कोई पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं हो सकता है. 4 and 0. दिस काइंड ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी कैन नॉट हैपन ओवर देयर. क्यों? क्योंकि 4 आईडी को हम लोग जनरेट कर सकते हैं लेकिन इस प्रोडक्शन रूल को आप ध्यान से देखो. ई हमेशा एटलीस्ट 1 आईडी से रिड्यूस होना ही चाहिए. तो किसी भी ई से 0 नंबर ऑफ आईडी कभी भी नहीं आएगा. एटलीस्ट यू हैव टू टेक सिंगल आईडी. 0 कब आता? जब इस आईडी के जगह एप्सिलॉन होता, ठीक है ना? तो 0 आ सकता था लेकिन यहां पर चूंकि एप्सिलॉन नहीं है तो यू कैन नॉट टेक द 0 वैल्यू. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉसिबिलिटी वी कैन नॉट consider. So now let's see for the question number 3. 5 number of IDs are there. So just try to understand. अगर यहां से हम लोग 4 आईडी जनरेट करते हैं तो यहां से 1 करना पड़ेगा और अगर यहां से हम लोग 1 कर रहे हैं तो यहां से 4 करना पड़ेगा. दूसरा कॉम्बिनेशन क्या हो सकता है? यहां से अगर हम लोग 2 आईडी जनरेट कर रहे हैं तो डेफिनेटली वी हैव टू जनरेट 3 आईडी फ्रॉम द राइट हैंड साइड एंड इफ यू आर जनरेटिंग द 3 आईडी फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड then we have to generate the 2 number of ID from the right hand side. Is there any other possibility? 5 का कोई दूसरा कॉम्बिनेशन बन सकता है क्या? नहीं बन सकता है. So this is the final possibility. So my dear friends, to generate the 4 number of ID, what is the total number of possibility? 5 और सिंगल आईडी के लिए 1. तो अल्टीमेटली यहां से कितना आएगा? 5 into 1. सिमिलरली 1 आईडी को जनरेट करने का पॉसिबिलिटी 1, 4 आईडी के 5. अभी हम लोगों ने देखा था. इस सिचुएशंस में हम लोग 4 नंबर ऑफ आईडी जनरेट कर रहे हैं एंड द टोटल नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी इज 5, सो इट विल बिकम 1 into 5. 2 नंबर ऑफ आईडी को जनरेट करने के पॉसिबिलिटी 1, 3 आईडी को जनरेट करने के पॉसिबिलिटी 2. ऑलरेडी मीन्स आपको प्रीवियस वाले रिजल्ट को यूज करना है. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू टू फाइंड आउट द नेक्स्ट रिजल्ट, यू हैव टू यूज द प्रीवियस रिजल्ट. सो यहां पर क्या होगा, यहां पर क्या होगा, अगेन इट विल बिकम 2, सो इट विल बिकम 1 into. सिमिलरली यहां से 2 पॉसिबिलिटी है, यहां से 1 है, तो इट विल बिकम 2 into 1. इन सभी को ऐड करेंगे, टोटल कितना होगा 40. तो इसका राइट आंसर कितना होगा, ठीक है. सिमिलरली अगर यहां पर 6 नंबर ऑफ आईडी हो, ठीक है ना, फॉर काउंटिंग ऑफ आईडी इज इक्वल टू 6, ठीक है ना. तो इस सिचुएशन में क्या होगा, चलिए देखते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स आपको बार बार प्रीवियस वाले रिजल्ट्स को यूज करना ही पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना. चलिए अब यहां से क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटी है, अब देखिए. अगर यहां से हम लोग 5 आईडी जनरेट कर रहे हैं तो यहां से 1 आईडी जनरेट करना पड़ेगा. दूसरा पॉसिबिलिटी, अगर यहां से 1 हो रहा है तो यहां से 5 करना पड़ेगा, और अगर यहां से 2 हो रहा है तो यहां से 4 करना पड़ेगा, और अगर यहां से 4 हो रहा है तो यहां से 2 करना पड़ेगा, यहां से 3 हो रहा है तो यहां से 3 करना ही पड़ेगा. इसके अलावा कोई पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है. तो 5 आईडी को जनरेट करने के लिए टोटल नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी 14. सो यहां से ये कितना आएगा 14, सिंगल आईडी के लिए 1. So ultimately it will become 14 into 1. Similarly it will become 1 into 14. चलिए 2 आईडी को जनरेट करने के पॉसिबिलिटी 1 है, 4 आईडी के लिए 5 है, अभी हम लोगों ने देखा था. इट विल बिकम 1 into 5. Similarly it will become 5 into 1. अब 3 आईडी को जनरेट करने के लिए पॉसिबिलिटी 2 है और यहाँ पर भी 2 है, तो अल्टीमेटली इट विल बिकम 2 into. तो अल्टीमेटली व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग 14, 14, 5, 5, this one is 4. So add all these value, so you will get 40. Means जैसे 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 हम लोग काउंटिंग ऑफ आईडी को इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं, as soon as we are increasing the counting of id, the degree of ambiguity means the number of pass tree is increasing. Are you getting my point? So my dear friends, यहां पर आपसे अगर कोई पूछता है डिग्री ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी, डिग्री ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी, तो डिग्री ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी क्या होगा, इनफाइनाइट हो. व्हाई इनफाइनाइट? बिकॉज एज सुन एज वी आर इंक्रीजिंग द साइज ऑफ स्ट्रिंग, number of pass tree is also increasing. Why we are saying infinite? Because counting of pass tree depends or you can say increasing with the size of string. Are you getting my point? With the size of string. भाई अगर हम लोगों ने एक साइज लिया तो एक पास ट्री है, 2 लिया तो फिर भी एक है, 3 लिया तो कितना आ रहा था, ठीक है ना. जब हम लोगों ने 3 कंसीडर किया तो 2 है, 4 कंसीडर किया तो 5 है, 5 कंसीडर किया तो 14 है, और 6 कंसीडर किया तो 42 है. इसके अलावा नेक्स्ट में हम लोग जाएंगे, ऐसे ये बढ़ता चला जाएगा. Are you getting my point? So as soon as the size of string is increasing, the number of pass tree is also increasing. So that's why I am saying the degree of ambiguity is in. So please remember this. Please remember this. So let's try to understand one more numerical with like ambiguity. Okay. Now see. अब मैं आपको एक दूसरा ग्रामर दे रहा हूं, ठीक है ना. एग्जाम्पल नंबर 2. सी ओवर हियर, S2 S1 slash S2 S12 AS1B AS1B and can do these things. S1 to AB and A to AAB slash epsilon and B to BB slash epsilon. And what is S2 is given S2 to CD C to AC slash epsilon and D to BDC slash epsilon. And what the question is asking, find number of pass tree for string is equal to double A, double B and C. Okay, the number of pass tree for the string double A, double B and double C. My dear friends, looking upon this particular grammar, if this is the grammar G, इस ग्रामर को देख करके क्या लग रहा है, या तो हम लोग S1 जनरेट कर सकते हैं या S2, and this is the start symbol. So suppose this is the language L1 and this is generating a language L2. तो इस ग्रामर को देख करके क्या लग रहा है, मीन्स अगर आपसे कोई पूछता है लैंग्वेज जनरेटेड बाय ग्रामर G, तो S1 से क्या जनरेट हो रहा है, S1 से जनरेट हो रहा है A to the power n, B to the power n and C to the power m, where nm greater than equal to 0. This is the language L1 which is generating by the non-terminal S1. And what is this symbol? This particular symbol is OR. तो OR का मतलब क्या होता है, यूनियन. अब इस दूसरे ग्रामर से क्या जनरेट हो रहा है, ठीक है ना, इस ग्रामर से हम लोग L2 जनरेट करेंगे और इससे L1. तो L2 में क्या जनरेट हो रहा है, L2 is containing A to the power n, B to the power m, C to the power m, where nm is greater than equal to 0. So you can see over here कि L1 and L2 both are unambiguous individually. Are you getting my point or not? अगर इंडिविजुअली इन दोनों ग्रामर को देखें दिस वन एंड दिस वन, तो इंडिविजुअली ये दोनों अनएम्बिगुअस है, ठीक है ना, इंडिविजुअली ये दोनों अनएम्बिगुअस है. अब हम लोगों ने क्या किया है, यहां पर हम लोगों ने S से इसको डिराइव कर दिया, या तो S1 या तो S2. तो अब क्या होगा, आप देख सकते हो कि ये जो हम लोगों ने यहां पर स्ट्रिंग एज्यूम किया है, प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस स्ट्रिंग विच वी हैव एज्यूम ओवर हियर. ये स्ट्रिंग नॉन टर्मिनल S1 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है और ये स्ट्रिंग नॉन टर्मिनल S2 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है. yes or no? The same string could be generated by either the non-terminal S1 or the non-terminal S2. या इस तरह के कोई भी स्ट्रिंग्स आप एज्यूम करोगे, like A to the power 3, B to the power 3 and C to the power 3. तो ये स्ट्रिंग नॉन टर्मिनल S1 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है और नॉन टर्मिनल S2 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है. लेकिन अगर आप स्ट्रिंग लेते हो लाइक A स्क्वायर B स्क्वायर, तो ये सिर्फ जनरेट होगा नॉन टर्मिनल S1 से. द S2 कैन नॉट जनरेट दिस, S2 इसको जनरेट नहीं कर सकता है. तो अगर कोई भी स्ट्रिंग के अगर नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री के बारे में बात करें, तो मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री कितना पॉसिबल है, 2. क्योंकि कुछ ऐसे स्ट्रिंग्स हैं जो सिर्फ एक ही नॉन टर्मिनल से जनरेट हो रहा है, मींस उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग बस एक ही पास ट्री है. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे स्ट्रिंग्स हैं जो दोनों में कॉमन है, द स्ट्रिंग विच इज कॉमन इन द लैंग्वेज L1 एंड L2, दिस इज द लैंग्वेज L2. तो कुछ ऐसे स्ट्रिंग जो लैंग्वेज L1 एंड L2 दोनों में कॉमन है, तो वो S1 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है और वो S2 से भी जनरेट हो सकता है. तो उस केस में नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री कितने हो जाएंगे, 2. तो इस सिचुएशन में डिग्री ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी हमारा कितना होगा, डिग्री ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी विल बी, क्योंकि किसी भी स्ट्रिंग के लिए मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री कितने पॉसिबल है, द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पास ट्री और द पॉसिबल पास ट्री आर 2. not more than 2. Got it? So this kind of question the GATE can ask in your exam. तो आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझना है, एम्बिग्यूटी का मतलब समझना है, ग्रामर समझना है, एंड देन यू कैन इजिली अटेम्प्ट एनी वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. नाउ लेट्स कम टू द न्यूमेरिकल. कुछ ऐसे न्यूमेरिकल्स हैं. देखिए ये क्वेश्चन जो है ये गेट 2015 के हैं, 2 मार्क्स में पूछे गए हैं. बहुत ही इजी सा क्वेश्चन है. अगर आपने मेरे प्रीवियस सारे लेक्चर्स को किया है तो आप इस क्वेश्चन को देख करके आंसर कर सकते हो. क्या पूछा गया? विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग लैंग्वेजेस इज आर रेगुलर? सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, L1 is equal to WXW reverse, where WX belongs to A comma B whole star and W and X is greater than 0, and W reverse is the reverse of the string W. W reverse is the reverse of the string W. तो पूछा जा रहा है कि क्या ये लैंग्वेज रेगुलर हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता है. X का रेंज क्या दिया हुआ है? W and X belongs to the AB whole star. So see over here. तो देखिए अब ये जो लैंग्वेज L1 है ये बहुत सारे लैंग्वेज का कॉम्बिनेशन है. आप इमेजिन करो कि अगर X का वैल्यू एप्सिलॉन होता है तो ये क्या जनरेट करेगा? WW रिवर्स. ये कब होगा? Whenever X is equal to एप्सिलॉन. यूनियन. अगर X का वैल्यू हम लोग A लेते हैं तो ये क्या जनरेट करेगा? WA W रिवर्स. इफ X is equal to A. यूनियन. अगेन ये क्या जनरेट करेगा? WB W रिवर्स. Whenever X is equal to B. एंड यूनियन so on. इस तरह के बहुत सारे स्ट्रिंग्स क्या हो रहे हैं या बहुत सारे सेट ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस यहां से जनरेट हो रहे हैं. सो ऑन द डिफरेंट वैल्यू ऑफ X we can generate many more languages. Now please tell me, can we design DFA for this language? क्या इस लैंग्वेज के लिए DFA डिजाइन करना पॉसिबल है? नो. इसका लॉजिक मैंने आपको प्रीवियस क्लास में दिया है, क्योंकि इस लैंग्वेज के लिए जब हम लोग CFG लिखेंगे, CFG मीन्स कॉन्टेक्स्ट फ्री ग्रामर, तो इस लैंग्वेज के लिए कॉन्टेक्स्ट फ्री ग्रामर आप कैसे लिखोगे? तो S2 ASA / BSB and / epsilon. So we can only write the context free grammar, we cannot write the regular grammar. This is one of the method to find out whether the language is regular or not. Okay, the second approach is you can try to design a DFA, but what you will identify, you are not able to design a DFA because here you have to maintain the counting of this W and this W in a reverse order, which is not possible without the memory. Got it? So a little bit concept of the PDA is required, and I hope you are understanding. If you are not getting these things, then please follow all my previous video lectures. So similarly, what we can do here, it is given A to the power n, means this is not regular. A to the power n, B to the power m, m is not equal to n. Yesterday already I have told you this is can be solved by the PDA. Means we can only write the context free grammar for this language. Means the regular writing a regular grammar is not possible. So this is not a regular language. Just see you upon here. Of course, PQR is greater than equal to 0. What does it mean? This is the A star, B star and C star. So if regular expression is possible, then this is regular. So the right answer will become. So guys, that's all for today. So before leaving this session, I would like to suggest you, if you want to get the subscription, never forget to use my code, that is the IFA. This is my promo code. Never forget to use my code IFA to get any kind of subscription. Subscribe this YouTube channel to get all the notification and the wonderful lectures in future, and press the bell icon button to get all the notification for my upcoming lectures, and put your valuable comments, because from your one valuable comments many students will get the inspiration. That's all for today. Good night. Take care. मस्त रहिए, मेहनत करिए, थोड़ा सा कंसिस्टेंसी लाइए अपने अंदर, क्योंकि कंसिस्टेंसी, रेगुलरिटी, ये सब चीजें बहुत ही जरूरी है. क्योंकि ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म पे अगर आप कोई भी लर्निंग अगर सीखना चाहते हो, कोई भी कॉन्सेप्ट सीखना चाहते हो, तो आपको थोड़ा सा कंसिस्टेंट रहना पड़ेगा, आपको अपना शेड्यूल बनाना पड़ेगा और ध्यान रहे कि कोई भी लेक्चर मिस ना हो आपसे, ठीक है ना। दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे, बाय, टेक केयर, गुड नाइट।